So good morning, friends. Very nice to be back here on the stage in this kind of a format. I remember having come to stage just before pandemic in 2020, and after that, all of us were kind of confined to a room, and of course, these conferences are going on. We did very well. In fact, if you think all of your balance sheet, all of us have done pretty well during these last 2 years. In fact, in a way, this pandemic has actually, in a way, it looks like a slightly poetic, but the fact that pandemic has helped us in accelerating the digital transformation. I mean, the way things are changing now, like just imagine if there is a slight glitch in the technology, or the technology stops for a while. It was so happening that people are not having reach to the health services also. So that is how technology became so important for us. So during this time, massive digital transformation happened. A lot of disruptors came to the market. A lot of new business model came up. All of us actually did very well. And in the same time, lot of digital surfaces created. And when digital surfaces gets created are the attack surfaces also. So the cyber security attack surfaces also got created. And the use of artificial intelligence, machine learning, all those went on, increased, proliferated. But the fact that this was also used for the adversarial purposes. When I mean adversarial purposes, I mean that this was used by the perpetrators also. You will be surprised to know one thing. I don't want to discuss more about this. The way things have emerged during this pandemic, like we all think that we have implemented deceptions to engage with the perpetrators or the attackers or the hackers. But believe you me, the attackers also have invested in creating deceptions. So it may happen that all of us have been fighting, the decoys have been fighting with each other. The decoys of the attacker and the decoys of the defender, they are fighting with each other. We all know that we know the TTP of the attacker. Believe me, it may sound little different. They have the TTP of the CSOs. They have the TTP of the companies. They know how this company operate. How do they defend? What is that first step they do? All sort of things are there. Things are emerging today. And when the digital transformation happens, typically what I said you, couple of things which happens, which is a recipe for, could be a cyber attack, could be increasing the vulnerability of the cyber attack. So what is, like, when I said you that when digital transformation happen, then you have a lot of open source solutions which is used. When you use open source solutions, then increases the supply chain risk. Supply chain risk is very important from our perspective. And then when a lot of assets go to the cloud, everything goes to the cloud, then there is a compliance charges, there is a visibility challenge which comes to the picture. And so many things when goes to the internet, then internet presence increase, then there is a need for lot of application security vulnerability. Then one important thing which is happening is people have access, context agnostic access. They can access from any device, they can access from any place, any personas. So this creates a lot of things in identification and protections. And all of us have been talking about DevSecOps. So there are a lot of talks on SecOps getting integrated with the DevOps, making it DevSecOps. For the first time, I'm saying it here. I don't like the word DevSecOps. I am evangelizing a thought where I should call it SecDevOps, where people from in the industry will start talking about SecDevOps instead of DevSecOps. Because when the Sec came in DevOps, it was a very, I would say, insecure feeling among the security people. They thought that why not security there in the DevOps? So they just added security between. Security is never between. Security is from the beginning itself. That is why it should be called SecDevOps. Coming to the way I said the characteristics of the digital transformation from a cybersecurity perspective, it means that it is creating some security vulnerability. So what a CISO should do, what the security professionals like should do? Should you sit at fence and watch the wait for the storm to weather? No, it's an opportunity for all of us. We should not miss this opportunity. But there are a lot of trade-offs. Couple of trade-offs I must say you, because like you in this kind of a scenario when everybody talks about agility, if there is a delay in security clearance, you will have tough time. You will definitely have tough time. You will miss the forest for the trees. Then couple of things like we are very traditional security people, so we will do multi-factor authentication, that authentication, this authentication. The moment you do that, there is a change in the your user experience that may create a little bit of problem. Then you capture biometry, you capture all kind of information to give a service to the customers. That may have some trade-off that you are capturing the PIIs, personal identifiable information. So the security, the CISO's life, or the managing security is nothing but managing trade-off. Whoever manages well is the best person. Then there are opportunities. There are definitely opportunities which all should not missed. One of the opportunities we actually should think that this is a chance for all of us, all the cybersecurity folks. Couple of things. One, understand the new technologies. Because we don't know, I mean, all of the people like me who have spent almost 30 years in this industry, there are a couple of things which are coming today which I need to brush up, I need to read, I need to understand those things to actually tell them that what kind of security measures you should put. So that is an opportunity for all of us to learn. Second thing, opportunity for all of us to actually implement security and make this digital transformation successful. Good that there are a lot of attacks happening. The cyber security is going to the boardroom, and there are so many people who are talking about cyber security. It's actually all of you can relate to yourself how things are changing. So take this as an opportunity and make sure that the digital transformation journey is secure. Now, what you need a different kind of architecture. In this architecture, you don't think about authentication. Come out of the mindset of authentications. Believe me, you won't get a chance to talk about authentications. What is emerging is identifications. If you identify a person, why do you need authenticate? I am pretty sure that he is the person who he claims to be or she claims to be. Why do I authenticate them? So identification is important. Continuous risk and threat monitoring is important. What Gartner tells, Kata, your Forrester tells zero trust, all sort of things. So I'm just digressing one point when Forrester says zero trust and all of us have been talking zero trust. I thank to the 𝐒𝐲𝐻, the conference people to the caption, the tagline of this conference is elevating cyber security to digital trust. So sounds little contradiction in the semantics itself, not in the theme, because the moment you go and tell people that I'm implementing zero trust, they will think that how you can implement zero trust, because security is a synonym for trust. So you cannot implement zero trust. So you can have little bit of problem in the boardroom. So be very clear that when you are saying zero trust, you should define it in a proper way so that the message should not go in the beginning itself, so that you actually don't achieve your mission. So going forward, maybe 𝐒𝐲𝐻 is the first the conference people, they have started this thing. Maybe 5 years from now, CISOs will be renamed as the Chief Trust Officer, Chief Digital Trust Officer, or DTO, Digital Trust Officer. You don't know. Then you need to have coordination among cyber security controls. That is extremely important today to convert cyber security into cyber immunity, where coordination of the control, orchestrations among the controls are extremely important. And another thing, what I told you with the SecOps, That is exactly the ship-left strategy. Security should be in the beginning itself, directly in the beginning. And you have to have, since there are a lot of spending happening in security, there are a lot of governance things which is required to be there in security. I will come to the exact theme of in next 2 slides. And as all of you know, the moment I see a young person here, or I'm actually saying truth, that if I say a young person here, I feel like hiring them. I feel like calling them to a corner and asking them, where are you working? Because today, hiring is the extremely important persons, extremely important problem for all of us. And getting right kind of people is difficult. Coming to building a digital resilient culture, I'll just tell three sentences here. A culture, if you any time working on culture, please understand one thing. Culture is a cult unit. And a cult unit has only 3 dimensions. One dimension is they have a shared space, they have a shared language, and they have a collected, what you call, you can have language, space, and collected habit. See, you have to have a collective habit, you have a shared space, and you have a shared language. You relate it to cyber security. I don't want to do that. If you are able to do that, you are actually able to put a cyber security culture, any kind of culture in any organization. A cult unit should have the same language. That means you cannot define risk in a different way than the CRO defines. Or you cannot have a 2 totally different definition. Neither CRO understands your risk. Sundar is there, he will tell me. So if you define risk, probability of a threat, exploiting the vulnerability of an asset, causing a loss to the asset, this CRO will not understand anything. You have to be very clear how to syntaxes of the risks. That is the shared language. Shared space, the position of the CISOs. I'm very happy that they said about digital trust. That will actually clear that where should CISO position themselves. Risk organizations, IT organizations, all sort of things. That is actually growing. Then another thing I told you, which is very collective habits. That is what comes from cyber appropriate behavior. Nowadays I don't call cyber awareness. I call it cyber appropriate behavior. I have taken this word from COVID appropriate behavior to cyber appropriate behavior. And you need to trust each other. The entire organizations, like board, like CXOs, like your other cyber security people, they should trust each other. Let me tell you the trust gap. There are a couple of trust gaps, which actually, if can be taken care of, then actually we can build a digitally resilient culture. So one is align the cyber security with the business. Then what would the board ask what is the board's assurance requirement? They want that your cyber security should be aligned to the business. You talk business language. You are benchmarked against global standard. You have no non-compliances. You have a continuous. You can say them that I am the best in the world. But in cyber security, to be in the same space, you have to run perpetually. Please understand that. Same space you have to run perpetually. So you need to have a maturity model. You have to tell them that I am 4, I am going to 5, or I am 5, I am going to 6. So you have to have a continuous improvement program, what I call it a maturity model. And they want to get an assurance that you are targeting your critical assets. Then this is the gap. If you are taken care, then you are closer to the C-suite, closer to the board. And what is the gap between cyber security and the business? Business are concerned about the business. You cannot tell that I will spend 100 million, 10 million in cyber security without making them feel that you are part of them. So is there any framework that if you say that my cyber security is doing fantastic and it has gone from 4 to 5, that is why my customer acquisition have come up. That is the kind of framework which should come in place. That is the kind of mindset you have to be in place. That if I spend in cyber security or invest in cyber security, I'm helping in the growth of the business. So these are the kind of thing which is required. And there are couple of framework which has come. So I don't want to market. It's not exactly market, but you can go to the internet, kind of get a framework which is actually a paper which is written by me, which was published in an international journal in US, which is actually a framework for this. How do you really integrate the efficiency with the effectiveness? Then good things is happening is there are a lot of regulations which are helping us. You know the Kotak committee report, they have mandated risk committee to take cyber security. RBI has told that you have to have a training program for the board directors. Then Security Exchange Commission, they have told that the board has to take care of the cyber security. Then World Economic Forum has a principle of board governance on cyber security. So things are changing. What I'm trying to say is board involvement, C-suite involvement is actually changing dramatically. And a couple of things happening. It's not new actually. What happened in 2013, if you remember, when the Target attack happened, there was a lawsuit against the board of directors. And they said that board of directors are squarely responsible for this state of affairs. So I just wanted to give you a reference of this slide. I have already given to the Exito. So I have no problem if they share it to you people. So I just wanted to give you a reference of the World Economic Forum principles of cyber resilience, which is on guidance for the board. I don't want to read it. You can actually go through this. And my last thought is, friends, don't always, because we come from a mindset that we have a different skill. We have cyber security skill. There is a market side constraint about the skill. Even if I have been going to the board for the last 10 years. So if you go to the board and if you understand that board doesn't have cyber security skill, you are actually from the beginning itself doing a mistake. So board people are very learned people and they understand. You please assume that they understand cyber security. Believe me, that will help you. Don't even think that these guys don't understand. They understand everything. They are very learned people and they understand what they are supposed to understand. And you have to build a cyber security culture across the organizations. I said a strategic security partnership, which I mean that it should start from the CRO. It should not start from the CISO. It cannot be a CISO-driven cyber security. CISO-driven cyber security will have its end in next 2-3 years. It will be a CRO-driven cyber security. CRO has to drive cyber security, not the CISO. Then only the cyber security will go to the domain of risk and it will find the appropriate place what it deserves. Of course, there has to be a partnership between CISO and CRO, but I think it should be CRO-driven. Then risk syntaxes has to be clear and understood by everybody. And I thank to the Exito for having a session like this. I think that board oversight of cyber security is very important. And I am passionately clear that all over the globe, not in my organizations, in all over the globe, this has begun to emerge. You will find a lot of boards involvement in cyber security, and that will actually help all of us in defending this digital infrastructure, which is created because of this beautiful digital transformation, which all of us should take the advantage of. Thank you very much, and wishing you all the best. Thank you.